Guess I'm live. Yeah, looks like it. All right. So I don't know how to give out links on lives yet. I'm still figuring this all out. So I'm going to, once I figure it out, I'll be all smart and stuff and be able to give out links and everything. But that's just not me yet. So we started up MetaForce this week, and we have kind of a bunch of stuff going on that we wanted to be able to answer some questions on. So we are working on setting up some interviews and different stuff that'll be coming up soon. I'm pre-recording one today, and then we'll do some other lives and other stuff like that. But to get your questions answered on what's going on, I thought I would go through a couple things so that you can know and understand and figure stuff out. So first, a little backstory. Me and the other guys, we all met longer ago through an online NFT game, Upland, which is on an EOS game. And we were all doing our own individual projects, and we decided to kind of get together and do MetaForce. And so we took a long time to plan it. So we've been planning things for probably about half a year. We originally talked about how we wanted to build it and what it would all look like, and what things we liked as collectors, what things we didn't like as collectors, the mechanics that we enjoyed, and the things that we thought weren't great or needed improvement. And we started from how do you build a really good collection, and how do you make it enjoyable for the collectors. And then the other thing that we focused on very much was how do you build something that's going to have lasting power. We didn't really like, there's a lot of projects out there, and people love them, and there's nothing negative about it for the people that like those projects, where it's just they come in and then they do a drop, and then they do their pack drop, and then they move on to the next project, and then they do another pack drop that is maybe related or is partially related or is whatever. We didn't want to do that. We wanted to build a brand and have all of our planning going out extensively into the future. We liked kind of the MCU model. If you're already a comic book fan, you're familiar with how the MCU works. So all of these movies may have tie-ins to another movie that might be 4, 5, 6, 7 movies in the future. So all of our design is based on that. Everything works together. The collectibles are born out of the comic books. There are reasons that we do certain things in the collections are because of how we're going to do certain things in the comic books, and how it's all going to tie in. Everything is done for a reason that somehow relates to something else. The crafting is out of the lore. So I don't know. There's a lot that ties into it. Now there's a couple questions that are up, and so we put out a couple mediums, and we put out an AMA question in the Discord AMA section, and we did a Discord bounty today on Twitter. So now if you go on Twitter, it says go join the Discord. So here's one of our first Medium articles. This talks about kind of an introduction to what MetaForce is, showed our citizens, showed our champions, and has some links there. The next one is our sticker collection. So this requires a little bit of explaining. So part of what we want is our distribution model to be to have something that interests everybody. Now, me coming from the Crypto Monkeys team, I've seen some really good ideas for free and fair distribution, and but also coming from people that like to pick up drops, that's a great way to get stuff too. The problem with drops is a lot of times they go super fast. They do get botted. People with Wax Cloud wallets sometimes will have crashes with the drops, and it's not always a good distribution method. But it's not always a bad distribution method either. So we made the decision that half of our promotional stickers are going to go via standard drops. So all of our citizens will be dropped once a weekend for the next 5 weekends leading up, well, next 4 weekends, because we've gotten past the first one, leading up to our pack launch on May 1st. The week preceding the pack launch, all of the alters will be done on drops every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And so all of those pack drops will happen at 11 a.m. Or not pack drops, all of those promo drops will happen at 11 a.m. So the people comfortable with that method are going to have half of the sticker collection that they can get. The other half is going to be done kind of as a grassroots distribution model. We've got a whole bunch of different collaborators that we either are or in the future will be working with. We've got friends of the MetaForce that want to help with distribution, and we've got all of our founders that want to help with distribution. So we are distributing in a bunch of different ways. Some of them are going to be Twitter bounties. Some of them will be random drops that we just put in our Discord or in our Telegram. So you're going to want to be in the Discord and the Telegram because you can pick up those random links that happen from time to time. Tuning into Upland Action News, you'll get some, and there's going to be a whole bunch of different ways that you can get all of these drops. And so come in and check those out. And keep your eyes open, All right, let me get some questions here. Will MetaForce be the best comic book or the greatest comic book? That's going to be personal preference. That's Mars. He's just messing around. Are there plans for a game based on the characters' NFT cards? So we are planning to collaborate with games that are in the space. Our cards may have use in existing games. Our cards may have distribution methods in existing games. We are not going to personally gamify it. We are a comic book series. That's where our most important work is going to lie, being on the doing the comic book and getting the comic book right. So that's what we're going to focus on, and that's what we're going to make sure that we do well. And we also really want to make sure to do the packs really well. So we won't gamify, but that doesn't mean it won't be gamified via other games. We will have some level of gamification in that there will be some crafting when the pack sale happens. That crafting is not going to be extensive. Some of the ones that come out, like, you can't get anything at all unless you craft, and if you're not the first one to do it, and this, that, and the other, and there's a whole mess. Our packs will come out with a whole bunch of different mechanics. There are versions of mechanics that other drops have had, and there are some that you'll be seeing for the first time. We're going to be giving all those mechanics out pretty soon, but the packs themselves are going to have some special mechanics that actually nobody has done before, and the crafting is going to be done a certain way. The crafting has its place in the lore. We didn't want to just make a glut of cards just so that they can be burned down. So our card supply and our pack supply is based on the idea of how many cards we think are going to be crafted and what that's going to mean for supply. And it's going to mean that the most sought after cards are going to be the champion cards. They're going to be the hardest to get a hold of, and you will have to craft to get the champion cards, and other cards will be used to help in that process. We have what some would probably consider a fairly limited pack sale. We're not looking to put in a ton into circulation. There's a good amount, and people will be able to collect, but we wanted our Series 1 to be very special, and we decided that we wanted to forego having a huge pack sale and making a bunch of money to make it a little more reasonably sized. We were going to make it much smaller in the beginning, but we were afraid that that would be too exclusive. So we landed on a size that we thought would be, there would still be some exclusivity to it, especially in the higher rarities. And but people will be able to get a hold of the things they want. There's going to be 7 rarities, and the highest rarity is going to be fairly exclusive. There's not going to be a whole lot of them. The comics are not going to be nearly as complicated. We had a lot of great ideas for the comic books, and a lot of people threw ideas out there, and one of the big ideas was, crafting for the comic books, and you've got to collect this, and you've got to collect that. But we came at this from the view of comic book readers. Both Mars and I collected comic books. We still have comic books from our youth. We looked forward to getting the next issue, and as soon as we got it, we wanted to read it. And we didn't want to have to put people through the ringer to get a readable comic book. We wanted people to be able to get the comic book and read it and enjoy it. So the comic book is the point of the series. We are building a comic book series that is going to last years and years and years. In our writing right now, we have a whole bunch of storyline playing out. We've got all of 2021 written. We've got a good portion of 2022 written. And we've got a couple story arcs that we think might or might not lead into 2023. And some of the stuff that we do in the first ones may not make sense until we're at like issue 10. It's all about seeing the big picture and putting it all together. We had a lot of influence for how MCU has done that, and how everything that's done is purposeful and has a reason. So we've done 6 months of writing before we wanted to issue out our first set of collectibles, and then the first actual comic book issue will come out later. So this is a comic book series. This is going to be an ongoing comic book series. We want this to last a long time. And we want the collectibles to be there to support the comic books. So we're not going to make stuff just to make stuff. Every collectible that we have, there's going to be a reason that it's there. It's going to relate to a comic book somehow. It's all part of the bigger picture. So there's that for gamification. How will be the drop? Are you planning some packs or individual cards? It'll be a full pack drop. We're working with Jonah. We are going to be on the collections list on Atomic Hub. So we'll be right up there with all of the other names that are on there, Blockchain Heroes and GBK and everything like that. It's going to be a full pack sale, and then we will go from the pack sale into crafting. We're looking at putting a very short delay in there, so that we can not have any hiccups with the pack sale lead into the crafting. And we're not sure exactly what that delay is going to be. Maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours. We've got to work that out with Atomic Hub. But it's going to be an Atomic Hub pack sale, and then you'll open packs, and opening the packs will give you cards. Everybody wants to know, is it mint on demand? Is it pre-mint? It's a little bit of both, and I don't want to give out all the details on that just yet, but there will be different incentives to open packs at different times, and there will be a big incentive to open all the packs. So it's going to be an interesting pack sale. I can say that some people will be real happy with the process, some people will not, but it'll have a little bit of something for everyone. The comic book pack sales will be much more standard. Those are going to be a comic book. You buy a comic book, you unwrap it, and you see what you get. There's going to be multiple rarities of comic books, and there will be multiple pack types, but it's going to be very simple and very straightforward. We don't want to muddy up the comic books by making them too complicated. The comic books are going to stand on their own. You're going to want them because of the content. You're going to want them because of the story. You're going to want them because of the same reason you always wanted to get the next Spider-Man or the Avengers or whatever. Our goal is in the quality of the content, and that's going to be the plan for the comic books. So people who buy those right away will get lower mints, but we are getting creative with the packs. I think that talks about the drops. There'll be multiple pack sizes for the pack sale, and you'll get random cards just like any typical pack sale. NFT Hive by Upland Knights. I don't even know what that is. I don't know anything about that. I'd like, but need to install Minecraft. Okay. So we have a place in the Uplift world. I think that's what that's referring to. So MetaForce does have land in the Uplift world, and we will be build it. We have already built some stuff there. That's going to be one of our methods for delivering NFTs when that is ready and that's open. Currently, we're also delivering NFTs by providing mining in Upland. That's a new pilot project that we're working on. MetaForce is working with CryptoMonkeys to figure it out, to write scripts, to figure out how it's going to work, because that's not something that's supported by Upland. They have no way to distribute NFTs peer-to-peer, and they don't even have the bridge open yet. So the bridge is coming in the future, and if they ever build an NFT distribution model where we can give out NFTs for free right in the app in Upland, we'll definitely consider doing that. But right now, we're doing it similar to the CryptoMonkeys mining method, where you go in, and since there's no mining in Upland, you just do a visit, and the visitor fees were set very low, and you just do a visit, and that visit is your mining attempt, and you can attempt it as many times a day as you want. The only limits are the game limits, and there are game limits. You can only mine by going in there physically, sending your explorer to an address. There's a limit of how many times you can send per day. It would be extremely cumbersome for someone to attempt to bot that. It's all a graphical user interface. It will be work for someone that's not looking to actually play the game of Upland to take advantage of that in any way. So it is fairly self-limiting. But the people who do want to get in there, who do want to hunt around for those sends and do want to use those sends for mining attempts, there's now a reason for you to log into Upland every day. There didn't used to be. For some very active players, you'd go in daily and do stuff, but there are a lot of people that would just leave it there for a week at a time and go and just collect their income. Now, there's good reason to go into Upland every day and to interact and to be part of the economy, and we think it'll be good for the Upland economy, and we think it'll be a great way to distribute NFTs fairly and freely. So I think that's going to be really cool, and I'm excited about that from both the Crypto Monkeys and the MetaForce side of things. The locations we're using are the Upland Comics location. That's another project that I founded and I've set up. And Upland Comics has some digital art. A lot of it's functional. A lot of it has to do with Upland. There's business logos, and we have a newspaper type NFT, and we have comic book type MFTs, but they're just like comic covers. But lots of different stuff. And then we're hopefully going to expand that mining program as more information comes out in how Upland and MetaForce actually have some ties. And then the mining locations will make sense with the story and the lore of MetaForce. So for right now, they're just comic book shops or future comic book shops, and then that's going to grow in time. So it's a proof of concept right now, pilot project. So far, the first few days, it's been going well. Roughly every week, maybe it's every 6 days or every 9 days or whatever, we'll pull all the visitors and we'll randomize who gets what NFTs, and then we'll send those out. And we're hoping over time that to be a much more automated process, write some scripts and make it so that it kind of happens on its own and it needs to not be done manually. But we're going to be doing it done manually to start because we wanted to make sure it worked and people liked it and it was a viable model. So that's what we're working on. And that model is going to come to Uplift World and hopefully Alien Worlds as well once those two things are ready, and the spots that we have are ready. So the goal is for MetaForce is not married to any one metaverse, but goes through all the metaverses. It's built very much to be able to collaborate with all kinds of projects. So our limits are just the limit of the total of all the different NFT spaces out there. A lot of our initial collaborations are on Wax and or EOS, but we'll see what happens as Wax bridges to other chains open up. I mean, the sky's the limit. So just like there are multiverses, there are going to be multi-metaverses. So a lot of cool stuff coming up. So when will the collection appear in Token Head? We're talking to Token Head. It will. As for when, they have a whole process they need to go through. So we're going to have to meet their process, and they're going to have to review the art and make sure the art's acceptable, and make sure that our community size meets their standards and requirements. But I'm fairly comfortable in saying that we think we're going to get on Token Head. We know already that we're going to be a collection on Atomic Hub. We're already a level 2 verified collection on Atomic Hub, and we'll be in the Atomic Hub collection books. So when you go through and you look through all of your collections, Bitcoin Origins, Blockchain Heroes, all of the different collection books that are integrated into Atomic Hub, we will be there as well. Of standing so incredibly still that I become invisible to the eyes. Watch. Interesting. Okay. Over to, I'm getting some AMAs in the stream, or questions. Who did the artwork? So the artwork is done by a lot of people. The actual artwork itself is done by really a 2-guy team. That's Mars, Utah, and ADK Original. But we all work together as a team on concept art. So Mars and I do a lot of talking, and we come up with different ideas, and who's going to be citizens, who's going to be champions, what are the alters going to be, what are the evildoers going to be, what is our storyline going to look like. Left House gets involved in that too. Mars talks to ADK around those lines as well. I talk to ADK. We have a great team. We all talk to each other. We all bounce ideas off of each other. And then once we've come up with the concept, the idea, then Mars really builds out that concept art more thoroughly and works directly with ADK to really flesh it out. And then final artwork is ADK. He does all of the fine art, tweaking it, getting it all looking really gorgeous. He has a lot of really great ideas. All the time he'll be like, hey guys, I was just kind of messing around with this idea, what do you think? And Mars and I will both be like blown away. We're like, we love it, we're doing it for sure, 100%. So ADK is very, very talented, and we are super lucky that he's part of the project. I cannot give him enough credit for the beautiful work he does, and he brings he and Mars really bring the ideas that we come up with to life. I keep seeing the stuff that he's coming up with, and every time he comes up with something new, I'm like, holy cow, that's great. I love it. What does our release schedule look like? So we do have the one Medium article I talked about earlier that talks about how all of these stickers are dropping. So half the stickers are going to drop on a schedule, and the champion stickers will roughly come out weekly, but will be done through a bunch of different bounties and stuff, and the weeks that they come out will relate to the citizen that will be on that Saturday. So Mars, Utah, and Wardrop came out kind of together over the weekend, and then Chainwreck started showing his face today, and showing his helmet, I guess. And the Recurrier drop will be this Saturday. And then Evildoers, much as Evildoers tend to do, they don't have a schedule. They're not going to tell us when they're going to show up. They're just going to show up. So Dr. Relic showed up, and we've got quite a few more that are going to make surprise appearances, and you're going to have to go out there and find them. Just so happened this time, Dr. Relic was tracking Wardrop, so quite a few people that actually purchased Wardrop off the market may find that Dr. Relic is sneaking around in their wallet as well. That may be the case in the future, buying these or holding these may have some sort of relevance to the holders. So, might be a good idea to have some if that's the type of thing you're interested in. But yeah, the promos are promotional, but we'll have some level of some small level of utility. But hey, these evildoers, they do all kinds of random stuff. We have no idea. Literally, we have no idea. We purposefully didn't plan it. So now we're seeing what happens when these guys show up. How can you buy the comics? There will be comic sales every probably 2 months. They'll start this summer. We've got storylines built out, and we are currently building the technology. Right now, there is no good way, really no way at all, to read long-form NFTs. And that bummed us out. We didn't like that. We didn't like that to enjoy long-form NFTs, you've got to open one thing and then open another and open another. And so we're building a way to read the comic book like it's a comic book. There's going to be a really nice interface, and you're going to go in, you're going to see your inventory, you're going to see what comic book you want to read, and then you'll be able to read it like a comic book. It's not going to be expand this image and then make it small and expand this image and make it small. And that's why the comic books are coming a little later, because we need to build the technology because nobody has it yet. So we're going to be the first to try and build and make an extremely usable long-form NFT technology for multiple types of NFTs, not just static images. And we're figuring that out. We're talking with partners. We're doing a bunch of stuff. But that's something we're really super excited about. And then once we figure it out, we're going to tell other people how we did it so that there can be other long-form NFTs. I'm very, very serious about trying to grow the space and make the NFT space better for everyone. So certainly at first, since we'll have built the way to mint and provide a sign in and adapt to enjoy those long form NFTs. We plan on being able to work with other people interested in making long form NFTs and helping them out and letting them know what challenges we faced and how we overcame those challenges. I'm excited with what I've seen so far, but we're still definitely in the building phase. So we're going to see how that comes out, but we have a pretty high standard that we're trying to design to. Will you get a physical book as well as digital? That's up to you. You're going to own those pages. If you feel like you want to go print it out, go print it out. It's going to be at a high enough resolution that it will still look nice at full-size comic book pages. There'll be slightly larger files to get that kind of high resolution at a comic book sheet size. But if it's something you want to read physically, you'll be able to do it. You won't be able to print them out and sell them because that's, not cool. But our goal is to make reading the NFT so comfortable and so easy that you're not going to want to print them out. You're going to enjoy reading them on your screen. That's our target. That's our goal. That's what we're shooting for. And that's why I can't tell you when we're going to have the pack sale exactly for the comic books, because we have to make sure that the tech is there, that it can be a good experience the first time. And so we're very hopeful it'll be this summer. Whether that means it's June or July, I don't know. But we're rolling. We're getting it started. So, that's coming along. What's your release schedule look like? We did that. Wow. When do we get slaves in the FLF world to get our bidding? We don't support slavery. But that's obviously a joke. That comes from our builder, Cushbud. That dude is awesome. The stuff he's making in Minecraft is so sweet. I love it. I can't wait until the community gets into Uplift World and we are able to engage better with the community and talk about all the different stuff that we're going to do there, how we're going to be enabling NFT mining there, and all the other things we want to do in the future. So, yeah. I think that takes care of the questions for now. I don't want to drag this on forever. So, yeah, that's it for now. And then once we get enough additional questions in the AMA area, then I'll do another one of these. And we've got a lot of interviews and stuff that are going to be coming up that should answer a lot of questions. And then we'll be putting out Medium articles. We'll be adding more information to the website. There's going to be a lot of places to get the information from. We don't want anybody to struggle to understand the project. So, check out my streams. Check out the Upland Action News. That's Left House's streaming platform. There will always be updates there. There's always going to be updates going on in our Discord, in our Telegram, going out on Twitter, Medium articles, and we're just going to try and get everybody informed and on the same page. And we want it to be really, really enjoyable for everyone. That's the whole thing. We want to make something that's a lot of fun, and you're going to want to own the comic books, not because they do all these crazy whiz bang technology things, but because the story is awesome. That said, we are planning some pretty cool stuff for the comic books themselves. There's going to be some fun stuff with them, so you may want to own them for the whiz bang stuff too. All right, I'm gonna stop now, so I'm not rambling on, but we'll talk more later. All right.